Okay. You gotta put the lower valve cover on first. Then you put on the injector wiring harness, because it pokes out the valve cover right here. You gotta put a little bit of sealant on both sides right there. Once you get all that tightened down, then you're ready for the top valve cover. Got the CP3 pump in. That's the high pressure fuel pump. And I put an LBZ fuel pressure regulator in here. Supposed to make the pump deliver 10% more fuel. ATI dampeners on, water pumps on, Y bridge is on, the clamshells are on. This side's identical to the other side. Yeah, that's all we got so far. Okay, Chris, costs. You can get in the shot. Wow, oil filter's on. High performance blue. Okay, back to work. Alright, YouTube. I'll show you some progress here. Well, I've got most of all the top stuff on here. I still have to put on the motor mount, the dipstick. Front end is mostly on there. Still have these brackets to put on. Even the fuel injection control computer is on. I got a problem. I got a few problems actually. That bolt right down there. Having a hell of a time trying to tighten that thing. But that's the least of my worries. Apparently, the boys from ATS, and which is my exhaust manifolds and up pipes, and the boys from Profab, or I'm sorry, ProFlow, need to go have breakfast a few days together and figure out their clearance issues. Yeah. Get this on a tripod, so yeah, we got some clearance issues there, unfortunately. So I can either space this out, which, I mean, for that to clear, it's probably going to have to come out at least an inch for it to clear, which is going to put me an inch closer to the firewall, which means I can't have the dipstick on the passenger side. I have to have it on the driver's side. So we have that issue. Trying to debate on whether to space it out a little bit and crush the pipe, or just get some different manifolds. But we'll figure that one out here. Probably gonna go with different manifolds, I guess. Put these up for sale. But anyways, also want to talk about fuel injectors today. Now, see if I can zoom in here a little bit. Okay, well, the one right here, it's out of like a Cavalier 4-cylinder. GM even used these in the 3.1, the 3.8, these style. You know, they work good injectors. This one is a style for like BMW, Mustang, Camaros, a little bit larger. Then you got mine, and this is out of LB7, which is 01 to 04 motor, and that's a big injector. It's actually larger than this one, which comes out of, I think it's 06, 07, and some 08 Duramax diesels. This is for the LBZ fuel injection. Now these tips unscrew off the end here. I put in 30% over injectors in this motor. So that means this tip is designed to deliver 30% more fuel, which you can in turn see. A pulse width is how long the injector sprays for. So if you put a larger tip in, the injector doesn't have to spray as long, and you can get more fuel in the motor faster. So this is an injector tip. It's got 2 alignment holes and 1 for fuel, I believe. I got one of these where you can pull the pin out of it. It's just a little pin point that it opens and closes that little valve in the tip and allows the little fine needle holes in the end to spray fuel into the motor. I'll show you putting one of those together here. But this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that because of the sun. Back up here a little bit. So, I'm having a hard time seeing that myself. There we go, there's not too bad of a picture. But, so, let's see if we can put one of these together. Alright. The ones in my truck are already assembled, so these you have to line up on those dowels. Put your cap back on. I believe the torque spec for these anyways, you have to torque them down to 50 foot-pounds. Now we've got fuel injector tip put back together. Of course, like I said, it would need to be torqued, so the fuel comes in here. And it comes in around, I think, roughly 27,000 psi going into the injector. It's operated at very high pressure. They tell you not to feel for a fuel leak with your hand because at 27,000 psi, I don't know if you guys run very many pressure washers, but a pressure washer operates at 3,000 psi. But they say the mist is so fine it probably wouldn't hurt you, but I don't think I'd want to take that chance. And then on here, the terminals on the top are for hooking up the fuel injection control wiring harness. The LBZs are nice. It's just a little snap fitting on there, much like the BMW and the Camaros and Mustang style. But there's also another type of fuel injection called throttle body fuel injection, where it looks like an old style carburetor, but it's got two big fuel injectors right in the mouth of it that spray down in there. Well, time to go. Phone's ringing. Talk to you guys later. Oh yeah, one more thing. I want to do a shout out to Wayne at the diesel stop. And shout out for Steve, your beekeeper. Thanks YouTube. Talk to you later.